Hello, my name is Tom Winter, and I'm here to tell you how to make this fun little bottle right here. The process today is a very easy one, and it's as simple as making an ice cube in an ice cube tray. Basically what we're going to do is we're going to take this little pellets here of plastic. It's called resin. Okay? You don't need to remember that. Just remember that when it gets hot, it turns into liquid. So it's very liquidy. And what you do is you pour it into a mold. Okay? And what this mold will do is it'll make one of these funny little shapes like this. And this is called a preform. All right? And the reason that they use these preforms is because it sure is a lot cheaper to ship this little preform than it is this big bottle. Okay? So they'll take this and they'll ship it over to a Coca-Cola plant. From there, these little preforms, the manufacturers take over. Right? And as they're sitting there in their plants, they have these $2 million machines, and they'll run off 24,000 of these a minute. Okay, so what they do is they'll take these, and this is an overhead, and what they'll do is they'll take this preform shape right here, okay, and they'll put it into a mold. And what I wanted to show you is that it just sits inside this mold here like this. At that point, as it sits inside the mold and it's shaped like a bottle, air is blowing in there at 600 psi. If you're standing there, it's enough to blow you over. So what it does is it starts to blow out the shape of the preform into the bottle. Okay? From there, you can come up with fun shapes. Okay? Just like you can make your ice cube trays and cookies into different shapes, but you can do bottles just the same way. So all it really is just getting it nice and hot and blowing out into a shape. So you can come up with these contour bottles. You can put the words of Dr. Pepper on it, fun little leaves. You can make round bottles, you can make square bottles, you can make anything you like, or you can make this outstanding product right here. It keeps the paychecks coming in. Thank you. Hi there, my name is Tom Winter, and I'm here to ask you a few questions today. First off, have you ever been to the Grand Canyon?
Yes.
Yes.
Have you ever seen a beautiful sight going down the Merritt Parkway when it's totally free of cars and you actually notice there are trees on the road?
Yes.
Yes.
Have you ever been camping or by the beach and noticed the beautiful sunset or the beautiful sunrise? You got some very pretty pictures in your mind. Now think about New York City. The traffic, the hustle, the bustle, the smog, the cab drivers swearing, noise pollution. Now, take it across the ocean, across the continent. You got LA, smog, people out there. You go to see the Hollywood sign. You waited your whole life to see it, and nobody's there because the Hollywood sign is under smog. As you can start to see, the big metropolises are becoming more and more coming out into the suburbs. Connecticut starts to see a little bit more pollution. You can't swim in the Long Island Sound. It's dirty water. How much longer do we have to wait? What I bring to you today is to ask you to do something. I really don't care what you do. Recycle. Tell your friends to recycle. Ask everybody you know to recycle. Take a mass transit. The subways aren't that bad. People aren't that bad to carpool with. Just do something. Join a group. Personally, I appreciate Greenpeace. Okay? They're a little radical. They try some fun things. They ram boats. They bring attention. They bring attention to the group. Okay? They bring attention to the problems of the world. For that, they're acknowledged for what they do. So, in conclusion, all I ask is that you do something. The next time you're buying your house, get a hot water heater from Solar Heat. Next time you're watching TV and the wind's blowing outside, figure out a way to put a windmill out there to power your TV set. Thank you.
What it is.
Hello, my name is Tom Winter, and I'm here today to introduce you to the subject I'm going to discuss on Friday, and that is my job, what I do for a living. Our organization has gone through a change over the last couple of years from a manager-subordinate relationship to a team matrix organization. And I will be explaining to the group that I work with what is my new role. One being supporting the field service group, one developing systems for increased line efficiencies, and another for developing long-range plans to meet the needs of our customers. So in conclusion, the topic that I want to cover is my job at Cadbury Beverages in its new role.
Give him a hand.
Good evening. I'm here to talk to you today about Mott's manufacturing and operations support. As Jim said earlier, that was Cadbury Schweppes. Well, they still have to be employees. I hope you guys all appreciate the casual Fridays that we had today. First up, I'd like to discuss the purpose of the presentation. And in our changing business, our roles are changing. Now, what I want to make clear is I'm here to discuss how I can help you, and not let this be a bashing session on the technical center and how it changes its roles constantly. By the way, you guys are all technical people. The first objective of my role is to help coach and mentor the people in this building to support the plants in a more functional manner that they can deal with. People in plants don't understand microbiology. They really don't understand analytical chemistry. And they certainly don't know much more than apples go into apple juice. So what we need to do is I need to be able to teach you how to deal with the plants in a more user-friendly way. Now, what are my requirements for that? For coaching and for you learning is we both need to understand the priorities. Priority is the bottom line, the stockholder value. We need to make sure that we're making products that the plants can manufacture easily. If we don't make them easy, the plants will have a very hard time of running them. They will continuously lose money, and overall we'll all be out of a job. Now, there are real-world differences. Again, most of you being analytical chemists or microbiologists have at least a 4-year degree. In your plants, you have quite a few people that have never even graduated high school. So there's a definite imbalance there. So understand that as you're going into the plants or you're developing something for them, understand, try and make it as simple as possible so that they can understand it. Number 2 objective is to develop long-term strategies. Manufacturing is constantly changing as we're constantly coming up with new products and new packages. Their role is constantly changing. So my job is to go out and benchmark against other companies like the Procter & Gamble's, like the Cokes, like the Pepsi's, and see how they go about supporting their plants in the operations group and how things have changed taken from R&D to manufacturing. I've even heard of a couple companies out there using virtual reality to think of fun ways to get their new products on the line without actually making them and see what the problems are ahead of time. Those are the things that we're trying to find out about, and that's part of my role. Third objective of my role is to kind of develop systems or processes, a way to get the work done faster, so that you don't have to constantly be calling over to the plant. They would like it for it to come in the same simple format every single time. It's very systematic for them, and they operate that way very well. They like to understand milestones. They want dates. They want to know when things are supposed to be done. This is all going to increase our speed to market. Okay? We're going to get a lot more speed, and we're going to be able to turn our products over faster on the store shelf because our cycle times are diminishing.
The key for us is to follow up and make sure the work is being done. And finally, one of my last roles, which takes up a lot of my time, is to support the plants with my core competency. As many of you know, I've already ran manufacturing plants and a logistics manager, and I actually have a degree in packaging, and that comes in pretty handy sometimes. So they use me at the fullest. So, in summary, what I do for manufacturing support is my role at the Tech Center. I need to coach and develop you here so that you can work better with the plants. Figure out strategies so that we can long-term become a more profitable company. Develop work processes to get the work done quicker, and use my core competency to help drive the bottom line also.